Hey, what's up, you guys? So, today I'm gonna be giving y'all a little story time action or whatever because, for some reason, God doesn't want me to record makeup tutorials or anything like that. Like, I made a video reviewing $10 makeup brushes from Amazon, and you got like 10 in a set, and they were really cute, and they work so nice. I'm still using them. They are so nice. And then I reviewed the 3502 palette by Morphe because I got a huge Morphe shipment, and I got like the setting spray and stuff like that. And I did like a tutorial with all that, and it was cute or whatever. But like, I either run out of time or my storage always fucks up. I don't know what it is with any of my devices. They just don't hold a lot for some whatever reason. Or I'm doing a makeup tutorial and it's like a get ready with me, and my friends are really pissed off at me because I'm taking forever and they're just yelling at me in the video the whole time, so yeah. So I'm gonna film a story time because that's all God wants me to film for some reason. So today's story time, well, I guess this is my first story time on the channel. I've done them before and stuff like that, but today's story time is about jobs I used to work at. So to preface this, I never got fired from either of these jobs. One of them I quit, and the other one they just stopped texting me, and I'm going to start with the one that they stopped texting me, and already you can probably tell that that's a shitty place to work because they just stopped texting me and stopped hiring me, so yeah. So the first place I'm going to talk about is PacSun. So if you don't know what PacSun is well, it stands for Pacific Sunwear, but it's like a skate slash surf shop. It's very like California surf and skater oriented and stuff like that, and like Tumblr aesthetic bullshit. But it's really expensive. They sell brands like Adidas and like Calvin Klein and shit like that. And it's like where all the pretty people shop who have a lot of money. So working there at first was totally fun, actually. I actually really liked it there. I got a really good vibe from a lot of people. And then things started to go downhill. So one of the things that like kind of triggered me was a manager, because how the store was set up was there was like one person who was in charge of everything, and she was kind of like the head honcho, and then there was like little managers every so often that I worked with. And one of the little managers, well, he already experienced all the bullshit of that place, and we're gonna call him Mike. So Mike was telling me how, like, one day he was like, how do you like the job? And I was like, ooh, I like it, it's like cool, whatever. And he was like, yeah, well, you should watch your back because the people here are kind of cunty and like rude and shit like that. And I was like, I don't know. They seem nice or whatever. And then like 2 days later, I got a group text from my head honcho store manager, and she was telling us about how they're like planning on like setting up a coup and like fucking firing Mike or whatever. And I think I told him about it, which is clowning, and then, like, he was like, ah, fuck that bitch, and shit like that. And then he left, like, that next day, basically. And then, like, after he left, that's when, like, stuff started bad happening to me. I don't know if he told her that I told him, and maybe that's why they didn't like me, but, like, afterward, they just kind of, like, I think they stopped liking me. But there was another manager who was, like, one of the small managers, and her name was Amber. Like, we'll call her Amber. These are not their real names, by the way. I'm not giving out the real names, but, like, Amber. She was like, I don't know, she was nice at first, and like she would be nice to me and stuff like that, but there were definitely times where she was like very cunty and very like just like rude or whatever, and like just shady. And she'd give me like, you know, those like backhand talks, like, you know, when like someone just kind of like is like, they say something nice or they say something that's like normal, but they say it in a tone that's like fucked up. That's what she would do to me a lot of the times. And I did not get good person vibes from her, and she was kind of a hoe. She would talk to me about these guys that she was talking to from, like, different stores in the mall. It was clowning. And people were, like, telling me about how she was, like, a hoe. I think I heard from one of the guys that he was, like, I don't fuck with her or something like that. I don't know. There was just a lot of, like, guy drama with her. That's all I remember from her, is that she had a lot of guy drama. And she bought me a pack of Rellos once, so thanks, but, like, fuck you still. But then, I mean, it would just be like every day, there would just be kind of like bullshit, and it was just kind of like, oh, I'm tired of working here and shit like that. And there was like, around the time that like they stopped, because they didn't fire me, they didn't like tell me like, you're fired, and I didn't quit. But like, they had gotten to a point where it was like, they hadn't scheduled me for like a week. And then next week, they scheduled me one day. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was just like telling him, like, I was like, I want more hours, I want more hours. And I had like all of their phone numbers. So I was like texting him, I was like, I want more hours, I want more hours. And I'm like, well, I can't be annoying about this, I want more hours. Like, you need to give me more hours. That's how like this shit works. And they would like stop, they would like not respond to me or whatever, but I'd still get hours once, like every so often here and there. And they another really shitty thing about them is that they would always ask me to come in at like terrible times. Like they would like text me on like Tuesdays at like 12 o'clock, like while I'm at school, like eating lunch, and they'd be like, "Can you come in right now?" I'm like, "No, I'm at school, you fucktard." And like, it was just terrible there. Seriously, like, at least the one that I worked at, there might be good pack sons, but the one that I worked at, I didn't like it. And I mean, just like the fucking icing on the cake was, like, they just stopped scheduling me, and they just never texted me about it. And, like, there was, like, the last time that I was supposed to work, I had called my, like, head honcho manager, and I was like, well, we'll call her, I mean, I'm about to be done with the story, part of the story, but we'll call her, I don't fucking know, Michelle. Michelle was like, I called her or something, like, I was, like, I was persistent this time, like, I was, like, I think I called her. And I was like, hey, I was like, I need these hours. I was like, I'm gonna work this day. Like, let me work this day. And she was like, okay, like, whatever. Like, we might need you, like, whatever. And she's like, just call before you do. And, like, I was like, okay, what the fuck ever. So I called, and I was like, hey, I was like, I'm coming in, or, like, I'm gonna come in. And that was when, Amber, we'll call her Amber, like, Amber picked up, and she was like, well, we have this new girl coming in, and, like, you can come in if she doesn't show up. And I'm like, I don't know if she's gonna show up or not, and, like, the mall's kind of far from me, and I'm not gonna make my mom drive that far. My mom was like, fuck that, and I was like, fuck that. So I texted Michelle, and I said, next time you schedule me, don't schedule someone else, and say, like, oh, well, maybe you'll work, and then, like, if I show up there and I don't have to work, and I have to drive back home, and it was a waste of gas and money, like, that's fucked up. Like, I didn't say that's fucked up, but I was very, like, I'm pissed about this. And then that was the last time I was about to get scheduled, so, like, but she didn't tell me that I was fired, so. And apparently I'm still in, like, the computers, because not too long ago, funny story about PacSun, not too long ago, like, literally, like, last week, I got a call from them, and it was, like, a guy, and he was like, hey, I'm the new manager, like, Michelle's not here, and he was like, do you want your job back? And I was like, no. Because I was thinking about it, and then my friend who still works there was like, girl, don't, because it's still shit. And I was like, thank you for letting me know, bitch. While I was off camera, I was going to try to find the texts, but I can't. I think I deleted them because they were taking up too much storage in my phone, and I was like, fuck this shit. Why do I need these texts? Like, they're shitty texts, so. But yeah. So, on to the next place that I worked at. So the next place I worked at, and the last place I worked at, because I haven't had a job since because of school, was a little deli shop called McAllister's. And the only reason why I got a job there is because my best friend, I'll just say her name because she has a channel too, Ramona. Her name is Ramona. She's my best friend, my sister, my home slice, my home dog, my homebred. She was working there, and I was like, I want to work with my best friend. So I started working there in the summertime, this past summer in June. And it was, like, literally, like, the day after my birthday. I remember it. It was, like, the day after my birthday I started working there. And, it was super, like, oh, my gosh. So, like, when I first started working there, it was nice. It was cool. A lot of people were actually really good. Yeah, actually, now that I remember, it was really nice when I started working there. Everyone liked me, actually. Like, everyone was cool with me. Everyone thought I was cool. Thought I was funny. And then, like, a month later, like, no, like, okay, I'll tell you this one person that I specifically remember, because I thought he was really cute, and I thought he really liked me, and I don't know what the problem was. So, we'll call him Jeff. Jeff was the dishwasher, or, like, he was one of the dishwashers, because they have, like, two main dishwashers. And, oh, by the way, this story will be very long, because there was a lot more going on in this job, because at PacSun, I only worked there for, like, 3 months or 4 months, and at this place, I worked there for, like, 5 months to, like, 6 months. So, working here at McAllister's, okay, so we have Jeff. So, when I first started working there, Jeff was really cool, and he was really nice to me and stuff like that. Like, I walked in on my first day, and he was like, oh, what's your name? And I was like, my name is Nicki, and stuff like that, and he was, like, really cool. But, obviously, I didn't tell everyone that I was, like, trans right off the bat, just because, like, why should I? Like, why should I walk up and be like, hi, my name is Nicki, I'm transgender, blah, blah, blah. But like people would be like, hey, like what's up? I'm like, hi, my name is Nicki. And if it came up in conversation, I would mention it. Yeah, I never told him like to his face. So I feel like, and I'm gonna get back to that because I feel like this could eventually be why. But so he was really cool with me at first, and like every time I would walk back there, we'd talk a little bit, and he'd always play music and stuff like that, and he'd be like, oh, I have this song that you're really gonna like, and stuff like that. He'd be showing me songs that were like all cute, so I was thinking like, okay, maybe he likes me or some shit, you know, or whatever, like he's cute as fuck. But like 2 weeks go by, and I would walk back there, and I would kind of like try to talk to him, and he just wouldn't respond to me. It was really fucked up. And like after a while, he just ignored me, like flat out ignored me, and I grew to hate this dude after a while. Like he was just annoying. Like I didn't like him, and not because he like stopped liking me back, but that's just such a dick move. Like that's just so fucked up to be nice to me and then completely ignore me. So I'm like, fuck you, I don't like you. I thought he used to like try to flirt with me, but then I later realized that he does that to like every girl. And another thing that really like pissed me off about this guy is like the more I worked with him, the more I realized that he flirted with all of the really younger girls, and if they were like really pretty and white and like just like cute, he would like fuck with them heavy. And it was like so unattractive sometimes how he would, like, you know, when guys really try hard to flirt with girls, he would do that, and it was like very unattractive because they didn't want him. It was so fucking clowning, I swear to God. And he just like, and after a while he quit before I quit, so I watched him leave, and I was like, God, thank you left, boy. Bleh. Ooh. Ooh, girl. Y'all ready to hear about this one? We're gonna call this girl, oh my god, Haley. We're gonna call this bitch Haley. Okay. I'm not, oh my god, no. I don't even know if I want to call her Haley. I want to think of like a really fucked up, ugly name. We're gonna call her Bertha. Bertha. We're gonna talk about Bertha, bitch. Don't get me started on this bitch. Okay, hold on. So this was the first bitch that just didn't like me off the bat. I don't know what the fuck her problem was. She just did not like. The way the restaurant worked is like you would come up and you would order like at a fast food place would. But we would give the food to you, like we would serve it to you, like you didn't have to come up to the counter and get it yourself. And if I made like one little mistake, she would just like rat on me to the fucking like managers and shit like that. And she was a manager herself, but she would rat on to me to like the adult managers, because she was like in college or something like that. She was like a few years older than me, but not by much. And she just fucking, I hated this bitch. I hated her. And she flirted. There was so much like flirting at McAllister's, and I don't understand why. Like all the white people wanted to flirt with each other. It was weird. She would flirt with all the dudes. She was such a fucking hoe, and I didn't fucking like it. And she would just like always constantly be negative, and she would always say shit like, oh, I don't need this job because I can quit and shit like that. And we were all like, bitch, then quit. Like what? Like what? And at first, bringing it back to why I like started working there, Ramona liked her at first. Like her and Ramona were friends, but then eventually Ramona stopped liking her, and then I was like finally on my side and realizing how much of a bitch she is. Because not only this, but Ramona would tell me that she would talk shit about me behind my back while I wasn't there. And like I just knew she didn't like me. She just didn't like me for some reason. And there were certain days where she would act like she liked me, and I would literally just be like, bitch, back the fuck up, because she was just a cunt, plain out and simple, a cunt. One of the like few cunts that I've ever met in my life. She was just a pure cunt. I did not like her, and I don't even want to talk about her at this point because she was just, I just didn't fucking like her. I don't like her, but I still need content for this video, so I feel like I'm still gonna talk about her. Wait, where are you? Hey, where are you? Okay, can I ask you something? So, I'm filming a YouTube video and I'm talking about all the places that I worked at that were terrible. What, do you remember anything that was like really fucked up that Kayla said about me ever? Yeah, like super fucked up things that like, I was gonna get to Marcus eventually, but I know, does she still work there? I always forget. Damn. She still works there after she told like everyone that she doesn't need that job anymore. Chad fucking hated me. But the only reason why I'm talking about them two at the same exact time is because they were like best friends and they were kind of like worked together, which was weird. But Chad fucking hated me. He was just like fucking Bertha. Did not like me off the bat for no fucking reason, don't know why. And it's interesting about Chad because Chad worked there in the summertime, like right when I started. Like he worked there for like the first month of summer, like June. And then after that, he left for like 3 months or 4 months, and then he just came back. And that was when he really started to like not like me. I remember like this one time, so there's like this little counter, and then there's the window where we get the food from and to bring it out to the people. And everyone leaned on this counter, like everyone did. And there was one time where I was leaning on it, and he yelled at me, like top of his lungs, yelled at me. And, like, almost made me cry because I was leaning on the counter. Like, I didn't know what I did wrong, and he just yelled at me. He just went full force yelling at me because I leaned on the counter. Well, there were, like, 2 other people leaning on the counter, and it was just, it was debauchery. It was bullshit. Like, that place, not to mention, all of McAllister's was just poorly run. No one gave a fuck at that place, and I'm not kidding. The main head manager guy, who, like, ran everything, he did not give a fuck. Seriously. I think that because when I left, there was a guy there who was, like, head of McAllister's or something like that, and he like worked at different McAllister's, and he worked there with us for a while because I think we were so bad, and they realized that like we didn't give a fuck. But yeah, this Chad guy did not like me, and him and then like a few other managers I think had like this like little coup thing to try and like fire me, but I quit before, so it's like what the fuck ever, it doesn't matter all that much. So, and I have one more person to talk about, and it's like the most fucked up situation I think I was there, like when I worked there. I think it was the most fucked up situation I'd ever witnessed because of that shit. So there was this guy, we'll call him Manny. Manny was this guy who worked in the back, and he was gay and all this other shit, but I did not like him, and my friends Ramona, and eventually my friend Sarah started working there too, but both of them would tell me that he was talking shit about me, and like, I was like, I didn't know him at all. Like, I didn't even talk to him. He worked in the back in the kitchen. I didn't talk to anyone in the kitchen. So I was like, who's that? You know? But they were like, oh yeah, he talks shit about you, and he says that like you're a man and shit like that, and that you're just trying to be like a girl and stuff like that you're not really a girl. And I'm like, that's fucked up to talk about, first of all, because you're gay. Like, that's so backwards thinking. Like, I'm like, fuck you. Like, that's fucked up. But they would tell me all the shit that he ever said about me and shit like that. But long story short, when I started working in the back and started working and doing like the dishes and stuff like that, I would use a speaker set. Didn't know it was his. Used them anyways. I thought they were just like a part of like the, you know, McAllister's. Like, I thought someone would just brought them in, were like, these are the community speakers, just use them or whatever. So I'd use them and shit like that. Never like mishandled them properly at all, like improperly at all. Never like mishandled them, never tried to break them, never dropped them or nothing like that. And they've been there, and he had been working there, Manny, for forever. So people have been using those speakers for forever. And one day they broke. He comes to me and demands $30 from me. And I'm like, well, okay, listen, first of all, my passive little bitch-ass self said, like, yeah, sure, I'll get it for you, whatever. Because my parents have the money, and then at the time I had money, so I was like, okay, whatever, $30 isn't that much. And I'm like, well, if you don't got the money, then it's like, whatever. And I said that to him, and he was like, I have the money, but, like, I'm just trying to get it from you. I'm like, no, you ain't got the money, so shut the fuck up. But anyways, then I was, like, thinking about it, and I was like, no, that's kind of stupid. So I came up to him, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I was like, maybe 15, because I feel bad for you, and I know you don't have the money, but what the fuck ever. But, like, the first few times, he just tried to, like, intimidate me, which isn't cute. It's not fun. It's not quirky. You're not cute, or whatever. And so I was just like, well, like I said the first time, like, I was like, okay, whatever. But, no, he, like, was trying to intimidate me to give him money, which isn't cute. And he never got the money. He didn't even get the $15 because I quit, like, 2 days after that, so. So, those are my stories of working at terrible places, and I've only really worked at terrible places. I've never really liked a place where I've worked, except for when I first started working there. But that's going to be exciting because I'm going to be applying for Walmart, like, as soon as I'm done with this video. So I hope that I like Walmart, and I'm only applying there because they pay $11 a week. I mean, not a week. They give you $11 an hour, and I'm just trying to make that above minimum wage, baby. I am going to start adding songs at the end of the videos that I just really like, just because I love music and I want to spread it some more and kind of like maybe let people wonder if they're wondering what I'm listening to. This is what I'm listening to. You know what I'm saying? Today's song is Sailor Moon by Lil Booty Call, and it's gonna be my little outro song or whatever. It's good. I've had it stuck in my head like all week this week. I like found myself like singing along to it and like humming it while I was at school and stuff like that. It is super good, and I love Sailor Moon, and I love Lil Booty Call. I've actually been listening to a lot of his music lately, and it's like super duper good. So yeah. So bye. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. Hope you guys have a wonderful month. 2018, get lit. We only got like 2-3 more years with Trump. So I'll see you guys in the next video.
She gon' pop it open, she gon' make it pour. Even though I drive a foreign, damn I still feel poor. Sushi on my dinner plate, eating creme brulee, icing on that chocolate cake. That sound like